Hi, I'm Henry and this is Car Reels. This week we are going to review the BMW X5M Competition. So, M Division's X5M Competition package. You want a smile on your face? This is the SUV for you. It sounds great, it's freaking fast. You can go from zero to in trouble really quickly with this thing, and partly because it masks speed so well and it's comfortable and it handles really well that whatever form of speed you throw at it, it just does everything you want. It reads your mind. It's absolutely incredible to drive. The handling. It's a little odd at first to get used to it because you sit really high up, and it's very comparable to a BMW M5, but the point of view is just taller where an X5 would be. And once you get adjusted to the sense of speed from a higher point of view, the car just feels natural. It feels like a car more than it feels like an SUV. The suspension of this car is one of its strong suits if you want performance. Linearly, the car is a little bit too bumpy. No matter which mode you have it in, it's bumpy. You can't say anything else other than it gives you a very firm ride, but very confident ride. This is by far one of the best handling SUVs out there. It just has no body roll. You put this car through a corner, it has no understeer. It has just rotation, point and shoot, and you go very fast to the next corner, and it handles the next corner incredibly well. It just reads your mind in the corners. The sacrifice of a little bit of a stiffer ride is worth the feeling this car gives you in the corners, full stop. The performance from the 617 horsepower engine is incredible. There's torque everywhere. This feels like an M5 in speed, even though it's much heavier than an M5. And BMW has done an incredible job with this car feeling more like a car rather than an SUV. If I was blindfolded and somebody told me this is an M5, I might actually believe them. It sounds very M performance. And it moves like an M car. The 600 horsepower plus engine is mated to an 8-speed gearbox, which is very fast. It keeps up with the engine. In the third aggression setting, the transmission shifts really fast. Not necessarily for every day, but or if you leave it in drive, but if you change gears yourself, it's really fast. Just perfect for this engine. How you can live with this monster every day is a question that every single one of you is asking. Well, the answer is very easily. This car is very fast. It offers a lot of features in here. You have 2 different driving modes, M1, M2, that you can configure however you want. You can put it in sport, you can put it in road, you can put it in track mode where it turns off everything and all the traction controls. So if you want to take this SUV to the track, you can, and it would actually do quite well. But to live with every day, it might be hard at first to get used to it. because of how it masks the speed, how you will go over the speed limit without realizing it. But in terms of features, it has every feature you'd want. The heated seats are incredible because it actually heats up the armrest on this side and the armrest in the middle. The heated and cooled cup holders are incredible. The gestures are incredible. It has the most beautiful sunroof I've ever seen. It is also ginormous. Very loud turning signals, but nobody is ever going to use those, so that's okay. My advice is, if you want an SUV that handles very, very well and it's very fast, it sounds really good, it's fully loaded with features, but space might not be your number one priority, try out the M5. This is basically a raised M5, maybe a little bit heavier, maybe it doesn't handle 100% as well as the M5, but it handles incredibly well. It is very, very fast. The only drawback is the stiff ride, and you will get used to that. But if you want to sit higher up, you want to pick up your kids from school, you want to have a split tailgate, then this is the SUV for you. This is a very modern place to be. It's got some incredible new modern tech in here. I don't know where I can fault this car other than the suspension being stiff, and that I will take any day of the week because it gives you this sensational handling that I'm in love. I'm in love with how this car handles. For an SUV to do this is something else. BMW. These M cars are something else. I'm so happy BMW is putting so much effort into their M cars, making them full thoroughbred sports cars, being an SUV or a car or a coupe. M just does an incredible job across the board with all of their vehicles. And I am so happy to have had the opportunity to drive this SUV because I now am looking forward to maybe owning one of these in the future. The new X5M has a bigger grille. It has the brand new BMW laser precision headlights. They illuminate much better than the previous generation headlights. New sculpted front end. It's really beautiful. Everything about this car is very M. Going through the side, we have M Performance wheels with blue calipers, a little bit of a M trim here, and in comparison to the regular X5, it's got these body flares, so it's a little bit beefier looking. Going through the back, generally it's an X5 with OEM plus M treatment. You got a full quad pipe exhaust in the back of this car. It sounds really good, although on the inside you can't really hear it. M Competition badges through the side, and generally speaking, this is a really, really good looking SUV. Another cool feature about this car is the split trunk. That's really cool. And it goes back by itself. Welcome to the interior of the X5M. It's black with this gorgeous tan with the X5M embedded into the seats. That's a super nice touch. Other features of this car that I'm in love with is this shift knob. BMW has been doing rather ugly or odd shift knobs. In this car, it's beautiful. It's got this little stitching throughout and it just looks like a little bit of an art piece. Carbon fiber everywhere. It's an X5M competition, so that's obvious. Very nicely illuminated. It's very comfortable. These seats are very buckety, even though this is a big SUV. It's got nice deep bucket seats. The steering wheel, BMW continues to impress with the leather wrap steering wheel. It has the M1 and the M2 features with rather good presets from the factory, but you can individualize each button according to your driving preference. Heated steering wheel, and that follows with the heated cup holders, and they're even cooled. I'm a coffee drinker, and that's a huge bonus for me. The dash and the display, it's BMW design language. It's pretty much the same thing in every other M car, but it says X5M instead. It's really big, really clean, but it is a little dim. I wish it was a little bit brighter. In a bright day like today, I was having a little bit of a hard time seeing it clearly, but it's only an issue if it's extremely bright out. The display here is very big. It's got all the gestures and all the features that come along with it, all the maps. And the maps also tell you all of the parking lots available, parking spots, and so on and so forth. It's full of tech in this car. It continues throughout here to be very BMW. If you've been in another BMW M or SUV, it's very, very similar with the radio buttons that are also have a secondary feature as presets. So you have 8 presets if you like, even though they look like radio buttons, they're just presets. The back seats of this car are incredibly comfortable, but they are very small. If you push this seat back and into a comfortable driving position, the rear seat does have a little bit of an issue with legroom. Headroom is obviously not an issue, and if you look up, the X5M has a gorgeous sunroof that is illuminated, and that makes it look like it's a skylight. It's like a stargazing light. It's very, very, very nice features. Ginormous panoramic sunroof. The trunk is basically the same as an X5. It's nothing special, but in an X5M, all you want is drivability, and this car drives incredibly well. Other nice features in this car are the Alcantara sealing. It feels very premium, especially when you touch it. And these BMW M seat belts, they are also a very nice touch. The BMW M division continues to impress through the years. This X5M Competition shows that even a big bulky SUV can be a fun and dynamic car. This X5M is incredible to drive. It's very fast, it looks great, it feels great, it has a beautiful interior, and it just feels special.